Welcome to WAIJ TV, home of the Art Institute of Jacksonville. My name is Jessica Ashcraft and I'm your host today. Well, I have here with me Lanny Smith, a local author from the Jacksonville area who's here to tell us a little bit about his debut novel, The Radical Ride. Welcome, Lanny. Nice to have you. Lanny is a former high school teacher and a veteran of the United States Air Force. He's actually my former high school teacher, and I'm so honored to be able to have him here to interview today. So Lanny, tell me about your novel, The Radical Ride. I noticed it has a really cool cover and some exciting characters throughout the book.
The Radical Ride basically is a tale that centers around 7 unique characters located in Los Angeles, California. Their lives are profoundly affected by the possibility of a terrorist taking action in Los Angeles.
And I noticed that's where the novel kind of begins to take a dark turn. Is that correct?
I mean, what if there was a second attempt at 9/11, this time in a state across the country, like California? That's what inspired me to write The Radical Ride.
That's interesting. Well, as I read throughout the book, I noticed that you have some really interesting characters that come from a variety of backgrounds. You have a news anchor, a surfer, a businessman with a large company, a police officer. Can you tell me a little bit about these characters?
The lead character is a beautiful, ambitious, professional young news anchor, kind of like yourself. On her way up the corporate ladder, she pursues her stories with a passion for excellence, and she gets caught up in this particular situation, and it proves very costly for her.
Interesting. And she and the surfer, they kind of develop a very special friendship, is that correct?
Yes, they do. They do. And the other characters, they just kind of add to the suspense of the story, and it all makes up for a beautiful tapestry of characters, so to speak, which move the story along.
Well, tell me a little bit about the bad guy, the terrorist in the novel.
Charismatic, handsome, well-financed, well-funded young man who's devoted to his religion. But he looks at the world so much as this is how it should be, as compared to this is how it really is. One night, he believes that he's contacted by his God, and he's destined to play a far greater role in the way the world's going. And as a matter of fact, he becomes so fanatical, he actually opens the door for some dark supernatural forces to come in and compel him and influence him. And that's where he gets his motivation within the story.
That's unimaginable. It sounds very frightening. Well, you mentioned faith. Tell me a little bit about how the spirituality of this book unfolds and the faith that's in the novel.
That where there's darkness, there's light all the more. We find out in the book that the characters, as they try and hunt this killer terrorist, they're misled and they're confused. He stays ahead of them every step of the way, and they realize that they have to call upon a higher power to help them get through this, and they do. And then it has some interesting developments.
Wow, that's fascinating. It sounds like there's a lot of twists and turns in the book. Readers, if you'd like to embrace an action novel that reads a lot like a nonfiction film, I encourage you to pick up The Radical Ride. It's an amazing book and you will truly enjoy it. The Radical Ride is published by Tate Publishing and Enterprises and is available at the Tate website, at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and other fine retail outlets. And for more details about The Radical Ride, you can visit theradicalride.com, and while you're there, check out the really cool links. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Jessica Ashcraft, and again, I encourage you to take The Radical Ride.